Hello again, friends. I'm Brooksee. Of course, he's Calvo. And welcome back to the NFLA, where every week we seem to be asking the same question. Why do we keep watching this sport that actively hates us?
Because pain builds character, dude. And one thing I've learned is that chicks dig scars. So just keep it going.
Well, I fucking hope so because our team's certainly not leveling up like we had hoped at this point. Halloween, a couple weeks away, buddy. And I gotta say, if week 6 was a horror movie, the Eagles were the character that trips and falls while running away from the killer in the opening scene. And I think the Lions were the blonde that runs upstairs instead of outside.
Yeah, it's pretty spot on. I feel like it's spooky season right now. Guys are getting hurt left, right, and
Oh
center.
my God.
Teams aren't really where we want them to be at this point of the game, right? But man, yeah, this is the first episode that we're gonna do of the year where both of our teams lose. So Bravonians, I apologize in advance. You're gonna hear a lot of whining today.
Yeah, there's a 100% chance of a meltdown here, buddy. So I definitely have a few things to get off my chest about the Eagles game. Man, that collapsed like a cheap tent in a hurricane, man. And I'm sure you have a few words to get off your chest about the Lions blowing out. I mean, one week they're biting kneecaps, the next week they're kind of handing out free wins like it's a charity drive. So here we are. We're professionals, of course, so we're back, and this is what we do. We don't even watch football for joy anymore. Honestly, we watch it for the same reason that people, stare at car crashes: morbid curiosity and emotional self-harm.
Well, yeah, we're probably sick individuals at this point. A little
Hmm.
bit of a fetish for pain, I
Oh
guess.
yeah.
And but if you're all back here too, don't you dare kink shame us. It's not
Hell no.
nice. You're obviously in the same boat, or else you wouldn't be here.
Yes, sir.
But somehow we still love football, no matter the ups and downs throughout the whole season. You know, we can roast teams in the weekly dumpster fire and pretend to find meaning in another week of chaos. So grab your beverage of choice, lower your expectations, and join us as we unpack week 6.
Yeah, and I think the NFL is going off script again, buddy. That Eagles Giants game, what the fuck was that? The
I think it
Eagles
was well
lose
scripted. I
34 to
warned you.
17 to the New York Giants. Yeah, I mean you warned me, but I thought you were just being an Eagles hater, dude. What the
The
hell was this?
exciting whites, man. You can't go against them right now.
The Giants double up the Eagles on Thursday Night Football, and this was Philly's second straight loss. So they're officially skidding now. They're officially streaking in the wrong way. And on conversely, on the other side of it, it snapped a 2 season long NFC East deficit for the Giants. They had lost to every team in their division for the last couple of years, so they finally snapped that. And you're right, the exciting whites, Jackson Dart
And Cam Scadaboo.
and
Can't
Ken
forget about
Skims. Yeah,
him.
that's right too. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, when we talked about this game last week, it was okay, it is a divisional matchup, so you don't know which way they're going to go. We've seen some flashes from both Dart and Scadaboo, and the Giants defense has been playing pretty okay, at least to keep them competitive in these games. And it's kind of weird, like just watching this whole game unfold, and it was just Philly just seems stuck in the mud the whole game. Obviously, well documented. They tush push what like 4 times in a row and didn't do anything decent with it. It's
Yeah.
just like so like what was it, three minutes plus of just watching them push each other? Like, man, just terrible.
That was a pretty rough sequence, and I'm an Eagles fan. Like I kind of hated that. Like at this point, at one point, it's like it's at some eventually it's like just call an actual play. Like what are you doing?
Right?
Well, you got Saquon. Why are you tush pushing every play? Enough. But yeah,
Right.
like that turning point, man. The Eagles, the offense again stalled out. Second half, defense folded. There were some injuries, obviously missing Jalen Carter. Quinyon Mitchell got hurt mid-game, so you're missing your two best defenders right there. The one on the line, one in the secondary. So
Yeah.
I mean, if the defense is hurt and the offense looks broken, I don't know what to like. The predictable play calling. I don't know if we need to make a switch at OC already. Like Kevin Patullo just not getting the job done. The team's not executing. I don't know what the answer is at this point, man. 4-2, but it feels like we're like 0-6.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely feels like the sky's falling a little bit, especially when you've had 6 games to try and get the offense clicking here. And
Yeah,
it's been well documented to this point that Brown and Smith are kind of unhappy with their roles, right? Not necessarily that the team results, but their roles just aren't quite what they were hoping to be. Clearly, they're not using Saquon like they were last year, and maybe
yeah.
that's just to try and preserve him a little bit. But then you're seeing the struggles with Jalen Hurts too. Like he's missing constantly downfield. if it's not a 5-10 yard pass, he's like bombing it over most of those guys. So it's kind of weird for you, I guess.
I
But
would disagree there. Like his deep ball has been good and accurate mostly this year. He's just not throwing it very often. And yes, in this past game, he had a few deep balls that he just missed. There's one for sure that I'm thinking of to Devontae that he just missed him,
yeah,
and you
straight
can't do
bombed
that.
it over his head. There was
Yeah,
another one that he overthrew, and then the other one got intercepted, didn't it? So I don't know. It's
yeah. I mean, he was looking for the out, at the sideline to Devontae again, and just trying to force it in there, and it wasn't. AJ was wide open up the middle. Probably was going to score if he saw him and hit him, but
yeah.
I mean, like this with a team this talented and such high expectations, you can't have your play calling as predictable it is. You have to. I don't know. Like it's pretty easy to get exposed, and that Giants offense exposed our injury laden defense. So that's I don't
Well,
know.
I think
Like, oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
no, it's okay. I was gonna say I think you kind of said it best, right? Like after you watch them run the push consecutively, it's like, man, just call a real play.
So yeah,
And then if you look at the Giants, like every time they got into the red zone, it was like, here you go, Cam. Here you go, Cam. Oh, Jackson Dart's gonna run one now too. Like they were just physically pounding the ball down your throats as opposed to just trying to shove these 1 yard plays down their throat, right? It was like,
yeah.
no, we're gonna run, we're gonna tire you out, and this is how football's supposed to be played.
Well, and the last few games, like Jalen Hurts actually hasn't been bad. His numbers have been up, like his passing numbers have been up. People have been clamoring, throw the ball, Jalen, because Eagles were winning, but he was having like 100-yard passing games. So he's up to like
Right.
280 or something this past game. But so like I guess you're keeping the receiver happy a little bit longer, but you're not using Saquon at all this year. And like you said, maybe they're saving him for what? We're losing games. Like I don't understand. A bit of an identity crisis right now because we play half a game and the offense just doesn't score either in the first half or the second half. The past couple of games has been the second half. Before that, it was the first half. And so it's like, why can't we play four quarters? I don't understand. One time every game.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an epidemic at this point.
Well, I
Very
think
frustrating.
we yeah, but I think we'd be remiss if we didn't give some credit to Jackson Dart and Scadaboo, right? Like they literally took that offense on their back, and Dart looked really good, especially in the first quarter. Like he was slinging it, he was running, like
Yeah.
he had 60 rushing yards and a touchdown himself. And then, obviously Cam Scadaboo had the hat trick with the touchdowns, but man, they look good. And obviously a moment of concern for the Giants when Dart went into the blue tent there, and then all of a sudden it was just a party in there. Dayball was in there, Scadaboo was in there, and yeah, some repercussions from that one too. But
Yeah.
man, yeah, I don't know.
We're normally so strong against the run too, and we just let Dart and Scattaboo run all over us. So I don't know what the answer is at this point, man.
Well,
Might
I
have to
think
make a trade.
that's well, maybe, but I think that's also like indicative of Jalen Carter not being in the middle too, right? So
Well, and we just signed Zadarius Smith like a month ago, and then he just retired. He up and
yeah,
retired
he's
this
like, I've
past
seen
week.
enough of this shit. I'm out
Yeah,
of here.
Eagles lose two in a row, and he's like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Yeah, these guys don't got it.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man. Well, I mean, hopefully for you guys you can figure it out, but
Yeah,
I'm honestly not too sad for you.
I know you're not, but I can't say I'm too sad for you, buddy. Let's talk Lions Chiefs and what the
Sure.
fuck happened here.
Well, I mean, this is what happens when you got to beat two teams, the
Yeah,
Zebras and the Chiefs.
yeah,
But no, I'm trying to be honest about this. Like I do think there was some sus behavior in this one. The opening drive, we threw the trick play to Jared Goff for a touchdown. All of a sudden, a couple of minutes later, New York's getting involved and saying that it was an illegal motion, even though, Campbell talked about it with the refs before the game. And where it's starting to become a little bit of an interesting story here is the refs are saying, no, no, like New York didn't get involved. We switched this up. But then all of a sudden it's coming out that New York told Detroit that no, we got involved and we reversed this call. So it's like, okay, well, what's going on here then?
yeah.
And but outside of that, I mean, Casey didn't have a charge penalty against them, which I've gone back and I've watched the highlights because let's be real, the Jays playoffs were on and I was kind of flipping, had both on, but
Yeah,
paying a
yeah,
little bit more attention to the playoffs. But
yeah.
there was some blatant holds, blocks in the back against Brian Branch, which caused his frustration after the game, and he slapped Juju, which is priceless. But like, you know, Mahomes gets bumped into, runs in for a touchdown, looks Brian Branch dead in the eyes, wipes himself off, flexes at him. No taunting penalty there,
Yeah.
right? That's an instant taunting anywhere else.
Yeah.
And then, you see Travis Kelce catches a ball that hits the ground, ruled a fair catch. there was a pass interference call that really helped open the game up for KC later on. That was kind of ticky tacky. I did see a bit of a hole in there, but not enough to disrupt what was going on. So again, I'm trying to be honest here. There was some sus play, but we flat out did not look great. Like KC is one of the worst rushing teams in the league. Mahomes
Yeah.
is like their leading rusher, and we could not stop anything up the middle. Like it was actually pretty frustrating. We didn't we didn't play well. St. Brown dropped the ball, which is very uncharacteristic of him. We didn't capitalize on some of these other plays. So, not going to blame it all on the refs. We didn't have a great game, but certainly didn't help.
Well, I wouldn't blame it all on the refs either, but you have to like not one accepted penalty all game.
Yeah.
That's borderline impossible. Like, I mean, taunting. It's Patrick Mahomes. He can do whatever he wants. So you're not going to get a flag there. But there had to have been some other instances where there could have been, yeah, whatever. I mean,
Oh,
it's easy to blame the refs, but I mean, you lost by 13, so you
I'll
just gotta.
I'll tell you though, they were pretty quick to throw that flag on Aiden Hutchinson for roughing the
Right?
passer.
I know. It's
I mean, it was a little late if I'm going to be honest, but I loved every second of it. He fucking drilled him.
hey man, if you're gonna get flagged for it, you might as well get your money's worth. Fucking tee
Right?
off on him.
Right.
But I mean, I think the telling a pretty important thing, pretty telling thing about the Lions failing to capitalize in this game is when they fail to capitalize on two fourth down attempts, right? And I know you guys are ballsy. Detroit, Dan Campbell is notorious for being brave, being ballsy, going for it on fourth down a lot.
Yep.
Brazen, confident. I like it, but
Big
when it
old neck
backfires, it
swinging around.
backfires, right? So
Yeah, like much to your point, the Eagles offense being predictable, I felt we were the exact same. We were running the ball in these long plays, throwing screens. Like it felt like every drive we had a screen that was thrown. Like
yeah,
to me, you don't run screens unless you have receivers that are really having a hard time getting separation, and you need this like 1 yard play. Like every time we threw a screen, it got blew up instantly. And I feel
right.
like Detroit has far too many weapons to be running such a basic scheme like that. And maybe it was Spagnuolo just like blitzing us, getting us off the game. We just didn't really have what it took to get over it. But even on defense, like I feel like our defense has played quite well over the last 3 weeks or so.
Hmm.
And we do have some injuries in the back too. Like Brian Branch is playing hurt. Kirby Joseph is hurt. He even left the game for a few plays and then came back later on.
Yep.
But again, it's not to make excuses, but we did not look great in this one.
Well, I mean, you're missing Ben Johnson. Obviously, you need those trick play calls, and you need
Better
a
yet, just fucking do your job on second down.
yeah. I mean, I guess he could do that, but
You know who was fucking nasty in this game though? Sam Laporta. I don't know if you saw his touchdown, man.
I did
One-handed
not.
contested grab at the back of the end zone. Go check it out. It was nasty. And he had a pretty great running catch too in that game. So
As
Sam
nasty
Laporta had
as
a
his
great game.
one-handed touchdown catch in the playoffs last year,
Yeah, it
because
was
that
it
was
was pretty
gross.
close. Like
Yeah.
because that one was a dive, but this one was contested, and he like came right down at the end of the end zone, and yeah, it was a great catch. But
Sorry to
you know,
interrupt, but Jays are up 12-2 now.
oh sweet.
Woo!
Um,
Sorry, folks.
but
The Jays game is on game 3 right now. Jays in Seattle in the ALCS. Jays are up 12-2. We're fucking stoked.
sure.
Let's go.
Well, how about we stop whining about our teams a little
Sure.
bit? We hopefully we can get right here. I know Detroit has a bit of a gauntlet coming up, not getting any easier in week 7 here, but
Both our teams
anyways,
are 4-2 now.
hey, it's gonna come down. This NFC is gonna get real tight down
The
down the
battle.
road. So,
Yeah.
is there a game that kind of surprised you of being a little bit better than one may have expected this week?
I did not expect to be like one of those last minute type of shootout games between the Chargers and Dolphins. The 1-5 now Dolphins, 1-4. They just about won this game. Honestly, like this is like you got to stop leaving time on the clock. Tua,
Pretty
like
much.
this, a Chargers defense is a really good defense, and Tua went 82 yards. Final drive of the game in the last like 6 minutes to go, down the field, clinical, moved it without problem. I don't even think he saw a third down. Um, Very stout defense that the Chargers have normally, but Miami moves down to the field. They score to take the lead in the last minute, but they make the mistake of leaving like 48 or 46 seconds left on the clock. And we're seeing this, Miami take the lead in the last minute. We're thinking Chargers going to Charger. Here we go again. They lost to Giants a couple weeks ago. Then they get embarrassed by the Commanders. And then now they're about to lose to Miami. And you're thinking, okay, what the fuck is happening to this Chargers team? But then Herbert gets the ball back with 46 seconds left and moves this. Like, did you see his play? Did you?
No, I missed it.
Oh my God, dude. Like vintage Herbert. This is why he's so great. And this is why I got on him last year. Honestly, this is why I give him such a hard time because he can be so good. Like he ends up scrambling. He uses his legs to keep the play alive for way longer than it should have been kept alive. He's about to get sacked for a loss. He somehow breaks a couple tackles, avoids a couple tackles. He's about to finally be tackled, and he's strong enough to stay on his feet. Somehow gets the ball off to Lad McConkey. Lad McConkey makes a play, makes a couple of guys miss. 42 yards down the field to set this team up to kick the last one. I couldn't believe it. Wild fucking finish, but the Chargers needed that to get back on track. That was great.
Yeah, because we've been kind of talking about how they've been spiraling a little bit. I mean, it's kind of weird to say like a 4-2 team is spiraling. I feel the same way about our two teams, right?
Yeah.
But they had like 3 weeks there where it just like, oh, what are they doing? They do not look good. And obviously the running game took a bit of a hit. And let's talk about that run game for a second, because Vidal comes out of nowhere and
Yeah.
just blows up. It's like, we don't even need Hampton. We don't need Najee. We got Vidal now,
I'll take the starting job. No big deal.
right? And I laughed all week. Like, if you play fantasy, everyone was like, okay, well, do you pick up Vidal or do you pick up Haskins? And it's like one of these things, you pick two doors, and no matter which one you pick, you're probably going to be wrong. And anybody that took Vidal won that route. But yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see how the Chargers can keep it going down the road here, because yeah, we've seen some up and down moments from them.
You're right. There's definitely a few 4-2 teams in the league right now that are like they have very, very different feels to them. Like 4-2, and you're feeling it, up here, and then 4-2, and you're like, holy fuck, right now. And I feel like that's me with the Eagles right now, and a lot of Chargers fans probably shouldn't be left around sharp objects, but neither should Miami fans at this point. 1-5 and blowing games like this. Whew,
I mean, I
Chargers.
feel like we can say that about like almost half the league right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
Bills are 4-2. It feels like the sky's falling because they've lost two in a
Lost two in
row.
a row.
Like,
Yeah.
it's one of these things. Like, it just feels like such a weird year this year, and maybe we are starting to see some of that parity level out a little bit more. But man, it's getting really hard to predict these things.
Is it ever? And I mean, if you're still alive in survivor pools right now, kudos to you. Not too many people are. It's turning out to be one of those weird years like last year. It wasn't as drastic as last year with like most people being out by week 3. We're
Yeah,
at least getting into, kind of close to halfway through the season here. But yeah, some weird finishes for sure this year. And talk about another weird finish. These two teams just can't not play a weird game, buddy. The Bears and the Commanders
right.
on Monday night. The Bears squeak it out. Oh, Jaden, how do you blow this? How do you can't fumble in the last
Oh
minute,
man,
guy? Come on.
I know.
So the
Right
Bears
into
go to 3 and
Bill's
2.
chest.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, obviously uncharacteristic. Now, it was kind of like that misty rain, right? It makes things slippery, but no excuses. You got to take care of the ball in those moments, especially late in the game when you have a chance to drive and seal the deal, right? And
Yep.
yeah, I was kind of hoping we'd see a last minute Hail Mary against the Bears again, but didn't play out that way. And yeah, it was kind of this one of these back and forth games. And now, truthfully, I missed basically the first half because I was watching the Bills and Falcons game, because I
Makes sense.
felt like
Yep.
that was a much more entertaining game. But hey, when it comes down to 25-24, right? Last minute
Yeah, you
dramatics,
figure Bills Falcons would be more exciting, but it was not.
it was not. It was and yeah, left a lot to be desired. But I think what was funny though is you heard Troy Aikman just giving it to Caleb Williams. He said the quiet part out loud in these on the broadcast, and he said how every time he throws the ball it makes him sick. I mean, I laughed pretty hard at that, but uh
Uh, I'm
it's
not
funny
sure.
though. I saw a comparison like side by side of like their first like X amount of games, and Caleb's actually beating him in stats. So it's quite funny. But obviously
I'm not sure he's going to
Troy
get
Aikman
asked to
had
do a
a
Bears game again this year.
no, maybe not.
Sorry, Troy.
Uh,
The Bears, though, like this was a sloppy game. They probably did not deserve this game. Washington handed it to them at the end, right? Like the Bears, they had 9 penalties. Jaden turned the ball over a couple times. Somehow the Bears come out on top. And like if you can win those games, when the games come around that you actually show up and everything's firing on all cylinders, you're going to be prepared. And um, I don't know. The Bears might be good.
You shut your mouth.
I'm just happy to see the Commanders lose because if the Eagles are going to keep losing, we got to stay ahead.
Sure. Well, I know we've kind of gone in depth about those ones a little bit. Why don't we just quickly check in on some other games that happen around the league? We won't spend a whole ton of time on them. Like we kind of prefaced a couple weeks ago, unless your team's done something major, we're probably really not going to talk about it every week. But I know Lamar's been hurt, but we're just really seeing the free fall of the Rams this year, right?
Ravens.
Rams
Yeah, yeah.
smoked them again 17-3. And I know 17 isn't really like a large score, but like this game
Didn't
really
need more
wasn't
than four.
close. Like,
So,
no,
yeah.
exactly. I mean, Cooper Rush looked awful. The Ravens defense looked awful once again.
Yeah.
Now, the only bad news here for the Rams, Puka awkwardly kind of came down in the end zone trying to make a catch, and now he's got what they're calling a sprained ankle, so he might miss a few weeks here, which is big blow to a lot of people's fantasy teams, but
Yeah.
also, that's a massive weapon to lose if you're the Rams.
The Rams go to 4-2, but at what cost, right? They're still trying to keep pace with the Niners in that division, and the Seahawks are playing well. Those three teams are all 4-2 right now, and yeah, you can't lose. I mean, it feels like everyone's starting to battle injuries at this point in the year, but yeah, you can't lose a guy like Puka for any length of time, right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
what? Let's. You know what? I have no interest in talking Steelers. Let's talk. Let's talk those Seahawks for a second because this game was weirdly like I thought this was I actually thought this was going to be a really entertaining game. There was one huge moment. Jackson Smith and Najigba went off. He had 8 catches, 162 yards, and an 61-yard touchdown. Perfect teardrop pass by Darnold right into the hands, hit him in
Hmm.
stride. Beautiful touchdown, and then this game had nothing else. But I kind of said it last week. Like I felt like this was going to be a defensive battle. I felt like the Seahawks would come out on top. Sure enough, they did. They only needed the one-score victory, but these teams both 4-2 now, and I don't know, man. Defenses are looking stout on both sides. So
Absolutely. And I mean, Seahawks, I think we're seeing that Darnold wasn't just a system quarterback in Minnesota, right? Like
right,
his first game was a little rough, and ever since then, like he's looked great for the Seahawks. And him and Najigba, they're forming quite the duo right now. And man, if they can keep popping off for 162 yards in a tutty every game, then they got a good chance with that defense for sure. And I think Seattle would like to see that run game get going a little bit more. Like Kenny Walker and Charbonnet have been kind of slow this year, but lots of time to turn that around.
the Carolina Panthers go to 3-3, and a lot of people did not have this team at 500 to start this year, except your boy Brooksy. They beat the Cowboys 30-27 in Carolina. The Rico Dowdle revenge game. Of course, the former running back for the Dallas Cowboys now plays for Carolina. Went off for like 206 yards or something last week. Thought, you know what? Let's run it back. Goes off for like 183 yards and a tutty this week to beat up his former team. Holy, what is going on with Rico Dowdle all of a sudden?
Uncle Rico
Oh my
just
God.
throwing stakes at people, I guess, across. But this game actually pissed me off quite a bit. I had a massive parlay going where I picked all the games. Now, I would have ended up losing with the Lions game, but I would have cashed out well before then, and then just slowly bet on the Lions Chiefs game.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was the only game that I got wrong in the morning and afternoon games.
You got to listen to your boy Brooksy once in a while. Come on, man.
Like I said, I can't in good
You,
faith do that.
you got to do it.
When have you ever had a good take?
Well, and I get the hesitation because I would steer you wrong on purpose. So, buddy,
Well,
I got a
one point I
question.
was going to say about my Lions losing is it makes perfect sense. I picked them as my dog, and
Of
I
course.
can't
Yeah.
pick one of those to save my life.
Oh, we'll talk about that. Don't worry. I'm going to rip you. But I got a question for you. The New England Patriots have a soft matchup this week. They could beat the Tennessee Titans and go to 5-2 and be first place alone in the AFC East. Remember when we were picking our division champions at the beginning of the year and we thought, AFC East, we laughed like no one's going to touch Buffalo. What the hell?
Right. I think that Buffalo is showing that you can't have trash receivers and expect to do all right. And they're not even using their most prominent person in James Cook. Like the last couple of games, he's just been non-existent.
If
And
only they
using
had a
the
guy like
strength of their
Stephon
O-line.
Diggs or something, right?
Right. Well, I am still alive in our big survivor pool, and I'm
Yeah, me
taking
too.
the Patriots this week over the Titans. And
Nice.
that's probably gonna burn us, bud. But we'll talk about that game maybe a little bit later because there's kind of a spicy storyline in that one. But yeah, the Patriots are rolling right now, and yeah, who knows? Maybe they're figuring it out. A good young team, and they've got a strong defense. So
Yeah.
keep it rolling.
Speaking of good young defense, Buccaneers 5-1, best team in football right now. I'm convinced. After a third of the season, give it to the Bucks. I mean, for now, obviously these things change week to week, and a lot
Yeah,
can change. I just can't believe it. We'll talk more about them in a later section because I want to.
yeah.
But yeah, this game was crazy. 30-19 in Tampa, so they get the home win. They go to 5-1, and I don't know how he's doing it, but MVP Baker Mayfield is still putting up dubs.
My boy Baker. Now, the unfortunate part for the Bucks is that the injuries are really starting to pile up. Now they might get Evans back, but Godwin's out again. Abuka went down this one
Yeah.
with a hamstring injury. They've got a few key injuries on defense too. So hopefully they can keep it riding. Because truthfully, I really like the Bucks. I think they're a scrappy team. They give a lot of teams a run for their money, and how can you not like Baker Mayfield right now?
I just don't understand how he's doing it. Like Mike Evans been out for a good chunk of the year. Chris Godwin has been out for most of the year so far. They lost Jalen McMillan. They've now lost Ibuka, possibly. Like they're relying on a couple of guys named Johnson, who no one's ever heard of. Rookie Tez Johnson and
Yeah.
Cameron Johnson, second year guy. It doesn't. I guess it doesn't matter who the fuck is out there catching balls for Baker. He's gonna win your game. He's gonna win the game.
Did you see Tez Johnson's quote after the game? He caught that touchdown. They were chanting MVP, and he's like, talked to his buddies, like, are
Yeah,
they like?
talking
He's like,
about
I
me.
ain't done nothing. He's like, dude, they're talking about Baker. He's like, oh, makes more sense.
There's no way he had that had to be fucking tongue in cheek. That had to be sorry. There's no way he thought that those chants were for him. Come on now.
Right? Oh, I know. That's hilarious. So I think there's only really one other game from this week to talk about, and that
Yeah,
is the Falcons Bills. We kind of touched on it. And man,
yeah,
the Bills, they've just looked really flat over the last couple of weeks, right?
called
And
it.
you did call it. And but how do you predict this shit? Like Atlanta literally put
I
up a
just
zero burger.
it's a gut feeling, man. It's the Brooksy gut. I had a feeling.
Well, a couple weeks ago, like I said, put up a zero burger, and then you beat the Bills 24-14. Like that's just disgusting.
This is a
And
fucking
man,
wild roller coaster ride this Atlanta team this year did.
it was the Bijan and London show in this one.
Was
They
it
went
ever?
absolutely off. 238 yards for Bijan
Yep.
and 158 in a tutty for London. So man, what a crazy performance by both those
Oh my
guys.
god,
To
disgusting games for
it's
those two.
right. So I guess this begs the question then, Bills fans. I know there's a lot of you out there, especially in our area. Is the sky falling? Let me know what you feel about this team. I know there's a lot of talk about McDermott
It
getting
might be.
fired. I don't see that happening, but I mean, I felt like that should have happened a couple years ago when you keep losing in the playoffs. Maybe they just need a new voice at this point, but man, I know the defense is a little banged up, but they ain't doing nothing, man. Like they couldn't stop anything. So if you're a Bills fan, why don't you drop a comment down below and let us know what your thoughts are on this team right now and maybe what they need to do. Do they need to go out and make a trade for a receiver, boost that defense up? Just let us know what's going on.
Absolutely. Being Canadians, we're in Canada. We know there's a ton of Bills fans in Canada as well. So yeah, let us know. What do you think? What do you think's going on with this team? Is the sky falling, or it's way too soon to say that, I think, but you never know. I mean, momentum's a huge thing in the NFL. So the Bills were not a dumpster fire. They did lose, but they were not the dumpster fire of the week. Calvo, who are you going with?
Well, I thought long and hard about what I wanted this segment to be. Like,
Phrasing.
do I just rip on teams, individual players, or matchups in general? And I thought, why limit myself? I can only contain my rage for so long.
Okay,
And
Dennis.
so let me tell you what I thought was the dumpster fire of the week. And for the second week in a row, it includes the New York Jets.
Sure does.
So this time, they are not alone. I'm going to throw the whole matchup against the Denver Broncos into the mix as well.
I like it.
And I
Change into
love
that.
entertainment. Yeah, I love entertainment. And what is more entertaining than watching several of your closest buddies struggling to score for 3 hours? Maybe this is why we keep sending the Browns and the Jets overseas. What do the kids call it these days? Riz? Well, let me tell you, there was a serious lack of whatever the hell that is, among other things. And nothing, I guess, is more fitting for the people of London than to watch a boring ass game with next to no scoring. Soccer sucks. But the people of London were like, football? I love football. They were probably actually more disappointed it was the American football, not what they're accustomed to. And man, this game actually made soccer look
I
entertaining,
was gonna say there was about as much scoring as there is in a soccer game. So yeah.
right? And, the Broncos obviously coming off this unbelievable win against the Eagles. They suffered the worst type of jet lag you could possibly have. And yes, pun intended. But maybe the Jets are just so bad that they literally put any team they're playing against to sleep. Like this was just brutal.
Yeah.
With the loss, the Jets moved to 0-6, and it's strongly keeping my projection of 0-14 alive. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah,
But
sure.
Denver wins 13-11. It was 10-6 after the first quarter.
Yeah.
8 points the rest of the way.
8 total points the rest of the way. That's embarrassing. You can't do that.
Oof. And if you're listening to this, congratulations. You officially had more passing yards than an NFL QB. Justin Fields threw for 45 yards, ran for 31, but due to his nine sacks, you heard that right, he was actually net negative 10 yards. Oof. How the fuck is this even possible?
-10 is
Like
a
you are,
fucking ridiculous golf score, dude. I'll give you a golf clap for that.
hey, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I mean, honestly, how is this even possible? You are an NFL professional team and you had net negative 10 yards.
Yeah.
At one point, it actually got so bad that Garrett Wilson was in Aaron Glenn's face yelling at him because he didn't understand what the game plan was. And once he figured it out, he said, I was disappointed. But now I think he's kind of faked this injury because he went down hard in this game. And I thought for sure he blew his back out. But turns out he's got a knee injury of all things.
Mhm.
So who knows where that came out. But now he's going to miss the next multiple weeks. So there goes your biggest weapon. Brees Hall's been struggling. The O-line can't save Justin Fields to save his life. And your defense sucks too. Yet they finally looked a little bit half decent, I guess. And I guess that takes a real strong talent from the Denver Broncos to let them look good. They finally got their first takeaway after 6 weeks, which we were chirping about that last week on
Yeah.
my dumpster fire of the
That's
week.
all you had to do was chirp them. Yeah.
Oh, man, but dude, I can't even talk about the Jets anymore. Like these guys are just a waste of breath. And as for you, Denver, you aren't off the hook.
No.
You made me stress all morning long because I took you in Survivor. So of course you made this game way closer than I had to be. I had no sleep, crying baby in my face the whole game. And I had to watch that bullshit. You should have smoked them by 40 points. And yet you let them hang around and you can't even score any points. You score one touchdown and you gave up a safety. What the fuck is that? Oh my God, man. Like I can't even handle this anymore. Maybe you could just consider this a defensive battle, but let me tell you, watching that game firsthand, it was sloppy, boring, and just straight up garbage.
Hot
Dear
garbage.
London, from all of us Canadians, I'm sorry. They nasty.
Sorry, London. I'm sorry we can't give you a decent fucking sport to watch. A couple of decent teams that'll actually entertain you. However, let's talk some hype because I'm sick of talking about the shit teams. Let's talk about some hype matchups, dude, that we're looking forward to coming up week 7. Let's go.
Sure.
We
Well,
got another
stick
international
with
game,
the
by the way.
international
Yeah,
games.
what as
Yeah.
well?
I mean, might as well stay there, right?
Yeah,
And maybe they will actually get treated to a half decent game this
I
time.
think they might.
You get the Jags versus the Rams. Both teams are 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
Could get
Jags,
spicy.
Jags have kind of become the unofficial like London home team the last few years, so they're going
I know, right?
home to host the Rams this week. So I kind of like their chances. I feel like they're like getting used to playing there, right? So
Yeah, what was that? What was the running joke we had last year? Like, if you lose, you got to stay until you can win to go home.
I love that actually. I'm gonna put the Jets should be
And
stuck over there all year.
yeah, and the Browns. You guys can just fucking have them at this point. Don't even need
Imagine
to
the Jets
expand.
and
Just
Browns
keep these
playing each
two.
other every week.
New York doesn't need two teams. They already got one okay team, I guess, and the Giants. Why do you
Yeah,
need the Jets?
they do
Fucking
not.
waste of space.
Yeah, every year. Man, you know who is not a waste of space though? My Philadelphia Eagles, dude.
Well, that's debatable.
I know. I was waiting for the comment. Eagles 4-2. They are facing a rested Minnesota Vikings team 3-2, coming off their bye. Eagles got a mini 2-game skid going. You got to come in and have some energy because Minnesota's going to bring it. They're at home. This could be tough.
Carson Wentz revenge game.
It could be. That scares me a little bit. He's been playing okay.
Ooh.
And our
Yeah, it's
defense
been
is
playing
not.
okay, and coming up, yeah, off the bye week, usually teams are pretty successful, right? You've
Mhm.
got 2 full weeks to kind of plan for the Eagles. And yeah, the Eagles are coming off of two tough losses in a row. So it's going to be interesting to see how your defense, or sorry, I should rephrase that, how your offense can deal against this Brian Flores defense that likes to blitz so pretty much every single play. So if your O line can keep Jalen upright, then you're gonna have a pretty good shot in this one, I think.
A lot of questions in Philly right now, but you know where there aren't a ton of questions? Indianapolis. The Colts heading into LA to face those Chargers who came off that gutsy win against Miami. This could be a prime chance for a statement game for Herbert to show that, okay, here we go. I'm bouncing back. Like he really, he's going to be up against it because the Colts are just playing with house money at this point.
Well, you said how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the best team in football at 5-1. I think we're really severely discounting the Colts.
Second best team.
Like, yeah, well, I guess if you want to put it that way, 1A, 1B.
Hmm.
But man, the Colts are a wagon right now,
Yeah, they
and
are.
the ponies, they're just crushing, and different kind of ponies this time, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, they're kind of playing with house money, and I don't think anybody really expected the Colts to be 5-1. But this is going to be a pretty good tilt. I'm kind of looking forward to this one, to be honest.
Different kind of ponies. I like that. Betting on the ponies. The Falcons, buddy, I'm loving this team right now. It's like to me, it's kind of like how Houston was with you a couple years ago when Stroud and Houston just kind of all of a sudden like endeared themselves to you and very quickly became like your second favorite team. Atlanta's becoming that to me. They lose. When they lose ugly. But when they win, god damn, they look good.
Is it
And
because you love the Panics?
yes, 100%. Yeah. Give me that Penix all day. Um, but Bijan though, like, dude, this guy
Yeah.
has. I think I saw a stat, something like 111, at least 110 or 111 yards from scrimmage every game this season. Like Bijan Robinson might be the best player in the league.
Oh, he's insane. And I mean, there was a reason why he was so highly sought after. He went like seventh overall in his draft, right? Or I think it was something like that. But generational talent for sure. Like this
Yeah,
guy can do it all. He can run, he can catch, and like he put it on full display against Buffalo. Like there's a couple times he was in a phone booth and he was the only one that escaped it.
yeah.
He's insane.
Yeah, so they're going into San Fran to face the 4-2 Niners. Give me the Dirty Birds again this week. I think Atlanta comes out with the win in San Fran, and we'll move on from here. Let's talk about the Seabirds, the Seahawks rather, hosting the Houston Texans we just talked about. Houston
Yeah.
started 0
The
3.
aforementioned Texans.
So Houston started 0 3. They're now 2 3. They've beaten their last two opponents by a combined score of 70-10. We talked last week a little bit about is CJ Stroud back. This is
Mhm.
his chance to prove it. This is going to be a tough test for him. I don't know that he's been tested like this lately, and this Seahawks defense is no joke.
Yep. And again, another team that's coming off the bye, looking to keep their momentum rolling a little bit. And this is kind of what's talked about those early buys, right? It's like, man, we're just starting to get into a groove. Now we got a bye week, like, and now we're probably going to need it later on when our team is banged up and actually needs a break.
Yeah.
But again, now they've had 2 weeks to prepare for a Seahawks team that just played a pretty gritty game
Yep.
last week. And so who knows? Yeah, I think the Texans can keep it rolling here against the Seahawks.
They won 26-0 against Tennessee 3 weeks ago. They beat the Ravens 2 weeks ago, 44-10, something like
Yeah.
that. So not great defenses. So this Seahawks defense is going to be more of a challenge for them for sure.
Yep.
But I'm feeling Stroudy boy when he gets hot, man.
Stroudy boy.
Speaking of hot teams, buddy, we got one more game to talk about. Hit me.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be the game of the week. Well,
It
at least
probably will be.
hopefully,
Yeah.
and saving the best for last. Monday nighter,
Yes, sir.
Bucks versus my Lions in Detroit. And right now, the Detroit are the betting favorites. I think like the spread was kind of wonky too. Like it was like 5.5 or something for the Lions last I saw, and
That's
that's
crazy.
probably just because of how banged up the Bucks are right now
I
and
think
being at
so.
home. But one thing is that I'm hoping is a trend that continues. The Lions haven't lost two in a row in a very long time.
Hmm.
So I think if Detroit can get back on track here, it's going to be relying on the run game again. I think we got away from it a little bit against Kansas City. Obviously, the game script didn't really allow for that once we got behind. But yeah, the Baker magic's real. So it'll be interesting to see how that defense can bounce back against another pretty good quarterback who, again, I've been advocating he looks like the MVP this year. I saw this stupid thing that now Mahomes is back as the lead favorite. Like, fuck that. No way. He hasn't done anything that Baker's done this year.
How?
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's because it's Mahomes, man. I hate it.
How, I don't
So
know. The Chiefs are 3-3, and Mahomes hasn't really done much this year. The meat riders with him are unreal, dude. I did not hear
yeah.
that. That is news to me. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I just saw it earlier today. So
Oh man.
um hey, Bravonians, if you like the content so far, drop a like and comment on the video. Let us know who your dumpster fire of the week is. Let us know who your hype matchup is for week 7. And dude, you want to move on a little bit here?
Yeah, let us know honestly what your thoughts are on Patrick Mahomes being in the MVP conversation at this point. But yeah, so Bucks top of the NFC right now, 5-1, heading into Detroit, who's also an NFC favorite, top of the NFC North, 4-2. So these are the two, to me, they're the two best teams in football. And let's move on right now to a segment that I kind of like. It gets to the point in the year where I start looking at these power rankings a little bit, just because I want
Mhm.
to see where we are versus where we were. And at this point in the year, like I don't think anyone had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the very top of the power rankings, but here they are. The NFL power rankings have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number one team in the league. So we got the Bucks and Lions, number two, which these two teams facing each other this week is just perfect, right? So I thought
Absolutely.
that was pretty cool. And the top 14 in the NFL power rankings, there's seven in each conference. So that kind of works out perfectly. If the playoffs were to start right now, these 14 teams would be in the playoffs, starting with the 14th ranked Los Angeles Chargers. And I don't think that after going 11-6 last year and looking as good as they did, I don't think I saw them being ranked that low. I thought they'd be in the top 10 for sure, at least most of the year, but they've scuffled for sure. But then you got teams like Jacksonville climbing into that playoff conversation. They're at 13. You got Washington at 12, Denver at 11, and Pittsburgh somehow at 10. And like who would have put, I mean, aside from Denver, who would put any of these teams at this point, right? So
Right. Well, I mean, who would have thought the Colts would be up there, right? Like it's one of these years.
yeah,
Hey,
and like
and I mean, there's still a lot of football to be played, but to this point, yeah, pretty impressive that some of these teams are up there.
Chiefs are at 9 with a 3-3 record. Somehow they're ahead of a bunch of teams that have like 4-1, 4-2 records. But again, with the Chiefs, just favorites, the NFL's darlings. Indy's only eighth at 5-1. So they're according to NFL, the eighth best team in the NFL. And we said they're kind of 1A, 1B right now with Tampa. So I don't,
Yeah.
it's crazy kind of where these rankings are right now. But
Well,
obviously you got
clearly
the,
those experts are
I
idiots.
guess, yeah, they've got the Rams ranked ahead of them. They've got the Eagles ranked ahead of them.
Well,
The
yeah.
Eagles are ranked sixth right now, and I think that's probably because the Eagles have been number one all year up to this point. You can only drop so
Yeah.
far in one week, but the Eagles
I
fall to
mean,
sixth after a second straight loss. I don't know, man.
let's be real. I mean, you guys still got the talent on the team. It's just not clicking right now for whatever reason.
Yeah, and then two
So,
NFC North teams in the top five: Green Bay at 5, and obviously Detroit at 2. Buffalo is at 4 now. Seattle's climbed over them. Seattle has hit the top three. The Seattle
woo,
fucking Who had the Seattle
Seattle.
Seahawks in the top three of the power rankings at this point in the
Dang,
year?
Sam
Nobody.
Darnold and Baker Mayfield, the two castaways. And then
Honestly, yeah.
Daniel Jones. Holy crap, man.
So that's, I mean, I just find it so wild. I just love seeing kind of where teams are jockeying for position at this point of the year. And every few weeks I'll check it again. So let's check back in a little bit. Eagles at 6, Detroit at 2, buddy. There you go.
Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, I think we love in or out. Let's play some in or out. It's been a while since we've done it. So I got a couple for you that I think you're going to really like. And let's do this, buddy. So we were talking about New England earlier. They have a really good chance to go to 5-2 this week. Are you in or out on New England being a playoff team this year?
Well, without looking at the schedule just to see what it kind of lines up for them to be, I'm gonna say I'm in on that. I
Yeah.
think they're wagging right now. They're clicking. They're buying in for Vrabel. I think they've got a very winnable matchup this week.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't see like, especially with the way some of these other AFC teams are going, I don't see why
Yep.
they can't sneak in there.
Drake May's slinging it right now. I think I'm in on New England being a playoff team this year. And again, that's another one that like people had this team kind of written off. They've already matched their win total from last year. They were 4-13 last year. They're already 4-2 this year. So
Right. Hey,
got a chance to pass it in mid-October. That's crazy.
keep on rolling,
It's
baby.
crazy. So I touched on it earlier, and his own coach has come out and said it. Now, obviously, he's a little bit biased. Let's be fair. He's his head coach, but Raheem Morris, head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, has said that Bijan Robinson is the best player in football. Are you in or out on that?
Whew. That's a pretty broad category.
I
I
know
could
because there's so many different types of players and positions, right?
right. I'm gonna say I'm out on that. I don't think he's the best player in all of football, but I do think he's top three in offense.
Well, I got to know who you think is better then. Josh Allen?
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd
Yeah.
have to put Allen and Mahomes up there, right? Um,
Mahomes?
I mean, dude, as much as I hate him, he wins. Like it's ridiculous. And I mean, again, like Jamar Chase got to be up there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, true.
but
Justin
if you're
Jefferson.
talking
Yeah.
about it though, like he is next to Gibbs, he's probably definitely the best running back right now. Like you put the ball in his hands and anything can happen, right? There's only like a select, probably 4 or 5 players that I feel like you could do that, and they're gonna pop off.
Leave it to you. Of course, you got to toss Gibbs' name very sneakily in there, eh? Come on.
Dude,
Like, he's good,
let's be
Jameer
real.
Gibbs, but come on. Bijan and Saquon are both better than Jameer Gibbs.
No, Saquon is not better than Gibbs.
Maybe not,
Nice try.
maybe doesn't have the numbers this year, but come on, he's a better
No,
player.
say no. I will not accept that answer. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
will
so,
not accept that
well,
answer.
you're wrong then.
I'm not wrong.
Okay, buddy.
Derrick Henry came out and said Jamar Gibbs is the best running back in football.
Saquon just
The
had
king.
Saquon just had the best season
Yeah.
any running back has
Saquon.
ever had ever.
Yeah. And why do you think that was, Bradley?
Because
Because
he's a fucking beast.
no, because the offensive line was creating holes the size of the Grand Canyon.
Well, that helps for sure. You got to have a good O line
Of
if you're going to
course
be a
it
good running
helps.
back. But
Look at this year. What's he done this year? Nothing.
yeah,
Great players
I don't
find a
know
way.
that that's all
Great
Saquon. I
players
think
find a
that
way.
play calling and
Uh-uh.
the way he's being used.
Nah,
Come on.
I ain't letting you have that. There's no way.
Okay.
I'll give you that Bijan probably has a slight edge over Gibbs, but Gibbs is better than Saquon.
Disagree. Strongly disagree, but we're never
When
going to agree.
Saquon
So
learns to catch, then we can talk about it.
he does drop the ball once in a while. Yeah.
Just saying.
Anyway, let's move on then because we're not
Oh,
going to agree.
hold on.
Yeah.
You're in on Bijan being the best player in football then?
Right now, yes. I'm in on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Just what he's done this year. He hasn't gone under 100 yards this year. It's ridiculous. The consistency is there for me to say that right now.
That's fair. That's fair.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago when Baltimore was 1-3, and we talked about the odds of them making the playoffs. We still thought they had a really good chance. This was before Lamar got hurt. Lamar is hurt. The Ravens are now 1-5. Are you in or out on them being sellers at the deadline? At the trade deadline, I should say, for the viewers that don't know what the deadline is.
I think I'm in. I think they've got some aging vets with some expiring contracts, and I feel like you have to get something for it. Well, I don't think they're going to go ballistic by any means because
You don't think Derrick
once you
Henry's gone?
No, I don't. They signed him for 2 years, and I mean, I don't think it all falls on Henry. His numbers are a little bit down, but I don't think it falls on him. Like especially not having Lamar for the last few weeks.
No, I don't think
And
anything
obviously
falls
you
on him,
plug
but I
Lamar.
think Baltimore could trade him, right? See what they can get for him in a losing year. No?
I think that might happen more next year.
Okay. I hate jumping off the Baltimore can be so good. Like Baltimore can be the best team in the AFC. I hesitate to say this, but I am in on them being sellers at the deadline. They're 1-5, so they'd probably have to go. Conceivably, they'd probably have to go 9-2, probably the rest of the way to make the playoffs, because that would give them 10 wins. Whew, I don't know. That's a tough task at this point, the way they're playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not ideal. And
Yeah.
I think at this point it probably is a lost season, but they've played a lot of football over the years. It's kind of hard to consistently win that many games,
You
right?
got to
And
have
not
down
expect
years once in a
injuries.
while, right?
Absolutely. So I don't think they're necessarily going to blow it up, but I do think they'll sell.
Okay. So we're both in on that. We agree. How about that?
Weird.
So since we agree, let's move on before shit gets wild again. Let's talk locks and dogs. We got to we got to break this streak that you're on. You're 6-0 right now this year on your locks, dude. It's got to stop at some point. I'm falling too far behind. I think maybe at this point because I lost
Is
again.
6 better than 3?
So, fuck, 6 is way better than 3.
Well,
So
hey,
Calvo 6-0 with his Rams pick last week. Who are you going with for your lock this week, buddy?
well, we talked about it earlier. I took the Pats in Survivor.
Okay.
So I think it's naturally that I'm going to take them as my lock of the week. Vrabel's going back to Tennessee. Revenge game for him. Wrongfully fired, in my opinion. I think a lot of that struggle is on the GM there,
Yeah.
who has also since been let go.
You got to give Vrabel
Um,
a team, right? Yeah.
yeah, Titans just fired their head coach, interim coach in there now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Talking with our good buddy Hammond here, he's a massive Titans fan. He's like, man, could be a trap game for you, but
Yeah. New
he's
coach could
like,
just give them that weird spark for 1 week, right? Yeah.
I don't really see it happening right now. The Pats are too much of a wagon. They're rolling. Drake May is going to crush.
Yeah.
Let's go, Pats.
Okay. Well, the Eagles, I was so sure it was a fucking walk in the park. I thought they would dog walk the
Wah,
Giants,
wah,
and they got
wah.
dog walked. So I fall to
Yeah, they
three and
did.
three with my locks, and I got
If
to get
only the
back.
Eagles had a good running back.
Anyway, I got to
You know
get
who
back
does
over.
have a good running back though? The
Not Detroit.
Giants. Cam Scattaboo, baby.
Yeah, true enough. So I'm going to get back over 500. I'm going with the Bears, the Chicago Bears over
Close.
the New Orleans Saints for my lock of the week. Got to go to 4 and 3 here. I got to try and keep pace.
Bravodians. Who would have thought that the Bears would ever get chosen for lock of the week?
Maybe a dog, never a lock.
Oh my oh my god. I hope you
Yikes.
go to 3-4. That'd be
I
priceless.
probably will. Yeah.
All right. Well then
However, oh yeah, you
you're
saw. Yeah, go
crushing
ahead.
on your dogs. Our records are completely reversed here. I'm one
Yeah.
and five. You're 5-1. Again, I joke that of course Lions lost. I picked them as my dog. It was is inevitable. So I'm never picking them as a dog again. I don't have to this week because they're favored for some reason. But who are you taking as your dog of the week?
Yeah, I'm 5-1. I can't miss with the dog. I can't fucking pick a lock for some reason, but I can't miss with my dogs. I'm 5-1. I picked the Seahawks last week. I was gonna pick Carolina. They both won, so either way it would have been good. But
Yeah.
this week, I'm going with Miami Dolphins. They are 2.5 point dogs in Cleveland facing the Browns. I think the Dolphins, they had that great game. It was a great showing against the Chargers last week. Probably should have won if not for Herbert's heroics. So I think the Dolphins keep rolling. I think Cleveland's got a tough D too, but I think the Dolphins take this one. So I'm going to go to 6-1 with my dogs. What about you?
I love how you picked like the two most disgusting matchups of the week.
Yeah, of course.
Like the two
Games
games
that
that
no one
nobody
wants to
wants to
watch.
watch. Yeah,
Nice.
nice. Well,
Well,
I
you
think
you tempted fate, buddy. 1-5 now with your dogs because you finally got off the schneid. You got your one dog pick with the.
oh,
So,
got
oh,
all cocky.
I got all cocky. I'm gonna pick the Detroit Lions, and they fucked you. So, who are you going with
Sure
this
did.
week?
Maybe there's some bad juju for them, but I'm going to take the Colts over the Chargers.
Okay, okay.
And I'm a little surprised that the Chargers are favored in this one, but I
It's
guess it's
weird.
because it's in LA.
Yeah.
But I think Indy's a wagon right now.
So Indy going into LA and getting the win to go to 6-1 to improve your dog record to a piddly 2-5. You'll never catch me there, but I'll probably never catch you in the locks. So
Anything can happen, man.
yeah,
Anything
man.
can
So
happen.
we'll see what happens this week. I'm excited for yet another week of football, and hopefully the Eagles can get back in the win column because it's been a painful couple weeks.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, let's call it right here. That's going to be it for this week, folks. Another hour ish of us venting into microphones, pretending it's therapy.
Yeah, and at this point, I think we've accepted that we can't fix anything ourselves, teams, not even this podcast. One thing I know for sure, like I'm probably like two more losses away from getting divorced from yelling at the TV all day long. So it is what it is.
Yeah, there's definitely not fixing anything. We just show up each week. We talk about the chaos. We make some bad jokes, and we call it content.
That's the beauty of free speech. Anything
That's
can
it.
be content.
Yeah,
And the wild thing is that people keep showing up to watch these things.
that's
So either makes you loyal, deeply unwell. Either way, we appreciate you. We
it.
welcome all the weirdos.
Yes, sir. And if you had a laugh this episode, awesome. If not, it's fine. Not all of our fans have taste. We know that. That's just the way these things go sometimes.
Right? And we know most of you are all right, but there's definitely a few fucking mouth breathers. Oh, like that fat bastard over there. What's up, Six? Fucking short bus looking dog.
Look at this fucker, right? Oh, he's getting impatient with me here. But hey, man, like you, honestly, you don't have to be smart. You can be a mouth breather. You don't have to be smart when you're this cute. How do you think I've gotten so far in life, dude?
Well, that's debatable. I mean, I think a lot of pity goes a long way. But whatever helps you sleep at night, brother.
Yes, sir.
And so for Ziggy and a deeply delusional Brooksy, I'm Calvo. This has been the NFLA. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Motherfuckers.